we'll start diving into our webinar today. So let me share my screen here as we get moving on our presentation. So before I get going, a little introduction about myself. My name is Jason French. I am obviously an employee here at FieldLevel, proud employee. Been here about 2 years now. Some things that I've been doing before I got to FieldLevel and still is I've been a longtime high school football coach. I currently live in San Diego now, just moved down here. That's where our headquarters are. But I've been a high school football coach in the Los Angeles area for a while. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a couple of championship programs, most recently last year, which was a lot of fun. We went really deep into, again, we won our championship, our division, won our bowl game, and then lost in our state bowl game by 2 points. Still a little too soon to talk about. I've gotten the opportunity to coach tons of former or current college athletes, former college athletes, some of them playing professionally now through all the different quarterback training things I've done over the years, and also coaching with the different programs I've been with. And then I also get to speak on behalf of USA Football around the West Coast, mainly. Sometimes I get to be pulled into different parts of the country, but mainly in the West Coast. So I say all this to let you know that I'm a part of this world. I'm a coach. I'm in this. I'm working with parents. I'm working with athletes. I've been doing it for a long time, and I was a user of FieldLevel well before I became an employee of FieldLevel. So this works, and I'm excited to weekly do these webinars, these live broadcasts where I get to talk about how great FieldLevel is and why it's different than the others. And then today, we're going to get into the 4 ways why premium gives you the competitive edge. And so before I get into what happens when you start paying for the premium side of FieldLevel and going through all the details of that, I first want to talk about all the amazing things that happen in FieldLevel for free. And it's one of the true platforms out there that you get a ton of benefits for absolutely $0, where athletes and coaches are finding a ton of success, a ton of functionality for free. And so I want to go through some of those things that you do get for free. Is first, athletes are able to build out their profile. And again, you guys are mainly parents on today. And so you are involved in this process, but athletes are able to build out a free profile. They're able to build out a target school list by researching colleges on our college search list. You're able to show coaches that you're targeting their program by putting that school or that program on your target school list. So they can't see, a college coach can't see what rank they are. They can't see what other schools you're targeting, but they can see that you're targeting them. And that's good for them to know that there's athletes looking at them. And sometimes they use that feature to whittle down who they're going to start looking at right away. You can be promoted as an athlete by your high school and club coach. For those of you who didn't have an opportunity to look at last week's webinar, we talked about really what FieldLevel is and what we are not. But what we are is coach-centered. We believe that the high school and club coach is the most impactful person in this process, and they're the person that college coaches want to learn about the athlete from first. And so within our platform for free, high school and club coaches are able to promote their athletes, create the introduction to colleges, to those that they're currently connected to in our platform. We'll talk a little bit about that later. They're also able to reply to recruiters. So athletes for free are able to reply to college recruiters when they get in contact with that athlete. And so they can do that for free in our messaging platform. And then lastly, you're able to see generic information and activity. So we'll talk about how the free versus the premium comes to life, but it is a very impactful thing to see that generic information, see generic activity, just to know that your profile, your film is getting activity. So let's start digging into the real stuff that opens up for athletes and coaches when the premium account is turned on. And for those of you who have a premium account and listening in today, you're going to see what you're paying for. So this is meant for those that are current premium members and also prospective premium members. So let's dig in here. First, leverage match strength and recommendations. So you're able to use our match strength and recommendations to find the right college fit. We've had other webinars in the past about this, but to conceptualize this in your mind, there are literally 2,000 plus college athletic departments out there right now in parts of the country you've never heard of, from Division I down to Division III in the NCAA, NAIA, and JUCOs across the country. There are literally 2,000 plus programs out there for your sons and daughters to play college sports at. And so we provide recommendations for you guys to look into these schools when athletes turn their accounts onto premium. And I'm going to keep talking about this a lot. When an athlete turns their account onto premium, that unlocks the functionality for premium for their coaches as well, which is extremely impactful for the entire unit, parents, athletes, coaches, to be on the same page, to see the same information, to help that athlete find these opportunities. So we provide recommendations based on proprietary algorithm that we have. We bring in, to make it simple, we bring in information from the coach. We bring in information from the athlete side. We bring in information from the colleges and their activity in the area in recruiting, and provide you information of what would be a good fit for your son or daughter based on that school. You're able to use this information as well to build out your target school list. So you're able to build out a free target school list, like I mentioned earlier, but you're able to fill that in with a lot of schools that would be a great fit for you as a family, as an athlete. College coaches can see if you're targeting their program, and it helps them know that you're truly interested. You can build out that target school list by 1 to 100, and we recommend 20, but you're able to use that target school list to keep you organized. And then next up here is just to show you a little bit of what that looks like with match strength and our recommendation. So right now we're looking at match. And so at the top there, and we're going to use this little icon as we go out, the little blue icon with the little FieldLevel logo. It's behind me, it's on my shirt here, and it's on the screen there. The little blue logo there at the computer, the little laptop with the blue, that's what it looks like for free when you're using the free platform. So as you can see here at the top, you can see that these schools have a match strength, but we lock that match strength for you unless you have premium. So right now for free, if you use our free platform, you're able to see that there is a match strength associated with that school, but what is it? Well, beneath is what would open up and what it would look like if you're using our premium plan. As you'll be able to see here, this athlete has Long Beach City College. It'd be a medium match. Long Beach State would be an excellent match. Cypress College would be a high match. So that, again, that is information that we provide to them because they're a premium member, and the information that we've taken from various entities to build out this match. And then moving on to our recommendations is what you would see here at the top for free. You'd be able to see that there's a Division II school in West Virginia, a Division II school in New Hampshire, an NAIA school in Michigan that are excellent or high matches. But of course, well, shoot, I want to know which schools these are so I can research more about them, see if they would be a great fit for us. And we could put them on our target school list. We could let our coach know that we're interested, and so on and so forth. So below here, you can see what opens up when premium is unlocked. You're able to see that these schools are high matches and what schools they specifically are. So now, again, that gives the athlete, the parent, and the coach opportunities to see more schools out there that could be a viable option for your athlete. Next on our target school list, you can see here under my targets, you can also build that out. And again, we use, oh, come on back. We use those target school lists, we use the college search list and the recommendations tool to help build out that target school list. And this is just a brief picture of what our target school list looks like. So next up, be promoted to anyone in the network. This is arguably the most impactful thing that our premium provides. And it's arguable because I have two things that are really the core things. In my opinion, there's 4 core things I talk about, but 2 of the top things that really open up for FieldLevel Premium, and that is this one here, is be promoted to anyone in our network. Right now, if you're using our free plan, your coach can promote you to anybody that they are currently connected to. So I'll use baseball as an example. Our baseball network has roughly 22,000 plus coaches in our baseball network. But let's say your coach has 100 people that they're connected to. So for free, they'd be able to promote, create an introduction, try and put an athlete in front of a college coach to only the coaches they're currently connected to. So only that 100-person connection base that they have. Well, if their athlete turned their account onto premium, they would now have that 22,000 plus network at their disposal, being able to promote that athlete to anybody in the network. And as we can all do without doing all the math equation here, 100 to 22,000 is a big difference. and being able to be put in front of thousands and thousands of coaches and having that exposure is going to ultimately have that athlete have more opportunities to be seen. If the athlete has more opportunities to be seen, that means there's more coaches looking at the profile, more coaches looking at their film, more coaches in touch with their high school and club coach to learn more about the athlete, which will generate more interest, more offers, and then ultimately more opportunities to commit to the right school. So very, very impactful with that. So let's see what that looks like on the platform. So for free, your high school or club coach comes to this page before he or she starts promoting the athlete. They're on My Connections there, as you see in the blue circle, and they're able to select whatever coaches they like, again, only from coaches that they're currently connected to. But if they want to go ahead, and again, still using our free plan here, if they want to connect with all of the network coaches, they'll get an add button there that's in white. And when they try and click on that, it'll tell them, sorry, you're not connected to this coach. Only way you can promote your athlete to this coach right now is if your athlete has a premium plan. So very impactful. Everybody opens up to them. So now with a premium member, same page, every single coach in the network, it has a button where they have the ability to add that coach to the promotion to, in the end, show off their athlete, your son or daughter, to those colleges anywhere in the nation. Next up, 3, reach out to colleges to express interest. In a nutshell, what we do is we have an option for athletes to write letters of interest. And we, as a company and me personally, love this feature. What this feature does is it allows athletes, and this can be a little confusing, so please pay attention to this because I'm going to do my best to explain it in detail. What our letter of interests do is it allows athletes to write letters to coaches that are on their target school list, answering 2 core questions, but very impactful ones. 1, why do you want to play for this program? 2, why do you want to live in this area geographically? It sounds simple, but it's very impactful. And what it's meant to do is it's meant to give athletes the opportunity to do the research, do the homework, learn about the program, learn about the coaching staff, learn more about the community, the environment, the weather, the location where they're going to live for the next 4 years, and show that coach that they have done that homework by writing out their answers in detail. Now, some of the confusing aspects to this. We give athletes 3 letters of interest to write, and they can only be written to schools that are on their target school list. Why do we do that? We want to make sure that athletes are taking the time to do the homework to show that college coach that they're interested, that they're not copy and pasting and mass blasting letters of interest out to multiple schools. Now, those 3 letters of interest, and this is where it gets tricky, those 3 letters of interest, you send out 3 letters of interest. Let's say 2 of those schools read the letter and end up following the athlete, a major data point in our platform. They end up following the athlete. They are now currently being updated about that athlete's process and progress on the platform. New film, new information a coach writes about them, whatever the case may be. That means the athlete will then receive those 2 letters of interest back so they can write 2 more. So clearly those 2 letters of interest have worked. They have the coaches at the college level have bitten on that bait. They're following the athlete, and now that athlete has 2 more letters that they can write again to 2 other new schools. Colleges cannot see what schools you've also written letters of interest to. They can only see the letter of interest that they are reading from that athlete. Now, where this becomes, where you can also go with this. Let's say you write those 3 letters, you don't see any response, you don't see any follows from those schools. You can also cancel those letters, get those letters back, and write to new schools in hopes to get more traction from those programs. Now, the other day, and I talked earlier about how this is important to do your homework and show that off to colleges. The other day, I had a parent write into me. I sent out 3 letters of interest. I'm not getting anything back. I'm not getting any bites. What's going on? Does this thing even work? Well, I went and checked it out. I went and checked out this athlete's letters of interest. Those 2 core questions. Why do I want to play for your program? And why I want to live in this area geographically? The answers were very basic. Why do I want to play for your program? I heard that this is a good program. That's it. Why do I want to live in this area? I don't care where I live. I'll live anywhere to play college sports. Well, a college coach is going to read that and go, you clearly haven't taken any time to dig into our school. You don't know anything about us. So when you guys do use, for those of you who have it, for those of you who will have it in the future, make sure that your athletes are doing their homework. Write something meaningful out. Learn about the program, learn about the coaching staff, the scheme, style of play, the success or the failures. Maybe they're a school that's failing. You want to go and help change that. Maybe they're successful and they want to be a part of that success. Whatever that is, make sure that they're writing out thoughtful letters to these coaches. Also, that goes along with these letters of interest, and I think which is arguably the most impactful thing that can happen in our platform. When a high school club coach sends a promotion out to a college, and when they send that promotion out to the college, they write up about the athlete. They've already certified the athlete. They've already projected the athlete. Then they write a little letter about the athlete as well, you know, an updated version of their evaluation. And then there's a letter of interest attached to that. Now the college coach is going to be able to see, not only does the high school and club coach believe that this athlete can play here, the most trusted resource, just like you and I have former bosses that are our best resources in helping us get new jobs. These athletes, their best resource is their high school club coaches advocating for them. So the high school coach, club coach is advocating for them. The athlete has written a meaningful letter of interest to these schools, giving great answers to those two questions. That college coach is going to have a hard time not looking into that athlete. So very impactful stuff with our letters of interest. And again, if you guys are a little lost on my explanation, that would probably be my fault. I'm not explaining it clear enough. And if I need to explain it in another way, I will, whether we do it during our question and answer time, or if you want to contact me later. So quick tutorial here. Here's our target school list again, 3 little dots there on the right-hand side. Click on that, that's a menu. Write letter of interest. It'll take you to your letter of interest where you'll get to write those things out. Again, Kelly's thoughts on playing for University of the Pacific, Kelly's thoughts on living in Stockton, California. And that's when you get to be very specific. Also, when a college coach is looking for athletes in the search filter, they get searches. When they use the search filter and athletes are provided to them, or if they're looking at athletes that are already athletes looking into their program, they'll be able to see a little notification there that the athlete has already written a letter of interest to that school. It separates himself. It kind of pops out at you. As you look at this list, something pops out. James Mendoza here has an attached letter of interest from athlete. Very impactful for that college coach to see that and open that letter and that promotion first. And this is what it looks like. Coach Mendoza writes an evaluation about the athlete. You can see that the athlete has film and that the athlete has written a letter of interest to that program. All very, very impactful things for those coaches to see. So last up here, our fourth and arguably the most important thing for these athletes and coaches to have when premium is turned on is being able to track activity and follow up accordingly. I'll take a look here. So this is an activities page. As you can see here, there's numbers of different kinds of activity: search appearances, profile views, highlight views, profile promotions, profile views, profile follows. Right now we're under the profile views. And for free, you're able to see, if you get them, you're able to see that a Division II school in Colorado has looked. A Division III school in New Jersey has looked. But who the heck are they? What school is it? Well, what happens when you get premium is you're able to see exactly which schools are looking at your athlete. Not only helps the athlete, it helps the parent, and it really helps that coach. It helps that coach know, looks like Culver Stockton College has looked at my athlete twice this week. I better be proactive and contact that coach over at Culver Stockton College and let them know that I've seen that they're interested, and what can I do as a coach to further this process along? Do you need to learn more about this athlete's character? You want to know more about how this athlete participates in our off-season workout? Is he or she a good student? What are they like as leaders within their friend group? How do they interact with their boyfriends or girlfriends during nutrition and lunch? Are they respectful in the classroom? These are things that these coaches can then move along with the college coaches, bridge the gap, get them as much information as possible so they can then start the recruiting process with that athlete. So seeing this detailed information is highly, highly impactful. So to recap, and first, by the way, all the parents that we've invited to today's webinar, and there's going to be a lot of parents that watch this recording, but what's great about FieldLevel is we really want our premium plan to work for you. We do not purposely go out and try to attract 8th grade parents, 9th grade parents. We really want to make sure that the premium plan is being turned on for athletes in a time of their life when the core of recruiting is truly happening, where these college coaches are looking for them, where their high school and club coaches are promoting them. So we want to make sure that we're targeting our audience based on their time of their life. And so we know most of you are going to be juniors and seniors, which is the most impactful time in the recruiting process. So with that said, I want to go over the things that we talked about today. We talked about match strength and the recommendations that open up with our field level premium. We're able to unlock the ability for coaches to promote their athlete to any coach in our network, not just the coaches they're connected to. The letters of interest, write and tell these coaches why you want to be a part of their program, why you want to live in that area. I mean, if you're coming from a sunny part of California and you get promoted to a place in Wisconsin, that Wisconsin coach wants to know that you're ready for some snow. Next, detailed activity. I just showed you what happens when you have free. You see generic activity. It's great. You know that things are working. But you really want to know who's truly looking. Who's looking at your film? Who's looking at your profile? Who's following you? Then all that information opens up in detail for you and your coach when you have field level premium. So what does it cost? We have a yearly plan that is $372 a year. In essence, that gives you a discount of paying for 11 months as opposed to 12 months. If you want to go monthly, we have a $39 a month plan. You can start or stop that whenever you'd like. There's no contract. We are highly affordable when it comes to the recruiting space, and to be honest with you, more effective. Again, why are we effective? Not because we're geniuses here at Field Level, but because we know the smartest thing that we've done is we've decided that we're going to make sure that the coach is at the centerpiece of all this. And that's what happens when you use Field Level. And again, we've got numbers here where when athletes use Field Level Premium, they're 7 times more likely to generate followers. They're going to have 5 times more activity on their profile, and they're 4 times more likely to commit using Field Level Premium versus our Field Level free platform. So all great things. Now, hopefully you've learned a lot today, and but I do want to give you a quick little hint. We're about to jump into our question and answer time here. We're going to use that question and answer area. I'm sorry, we're going to use the chat area. Please don't use the question and answer box. Use the chat box that we used earlier. It's easier for me to follow along, and I want to keep this screen up as you can see our social media handles here on the top right-hand corner. We're at Field Level for both Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then my personal contact information is below. That's my direct phone number. You can call or text me there. That is my email address. And of course, our website there. So with that said, let's open up the questions here. And I do ask one thing with questions. If it's really detailed to your athlete, go ahead and contact me individually. I'd love to dig into your account and help. But if this is going to be more of an opportunity to ask questions on a broader scale. So with that said, shoot. What are the match levels? So we have excellent matches, we have high matches, medium matches, low matches. So what is that based on? That's based on an algorithm, and I can't get into every single detail, but in a broad stroke with our algorithm is we take information from what we get from your coach based on the evaluation that they've made of that athlete and projected that athlete to play. Your information that you've installed, schools that you're interested in, your target schools, preferences that you have for colleges, and you have a college preference area in your account where you can fill all that out. And then we take information from the colleges themselves of the different recruiting that they've done in the area, recruiting that they've done nationwide, athletes that they're looking for, needs that they've posted, and we're able to provide that information for recommendations and match strength for you that way. All right, Nicole, my daughter is under the impression that her coach can only promote her to one school that she is not connected to. But I read that when on premium, they can send promotions to multiple schools. Am I correct? Pretty much, yeah. So with Field Level Free, you're able to be promoted to anybody that the coach is currently connected to. Now, when the athlete turns on premium, that gives the coach now the ability to promote that athlete to anybody in the network, not just so the small pond of connections that they currently have and the big ocean of connections that they'd be able to send promotions to when premium is turned on. That's the difference. So the pond to the ocean of the entire network. We'll enter, Tamika, will entering the coach's info in the profile prompt prompt them to connect, or should we reach out to the coach to let them know about FieldLevel? Okay, I think what this is asking about is when you're having the ability during the sign-on process to add teams. Hopefully that's what you're referring to. So yeah, you can invite that coach, whether they are on FieldLevel. You can be added to their roster and request to be added to their roster that way. If they're not on FieldLevel, you can request for them to join FieldLevel to start their own free account and to have your son or daughter be on that roster, that recruiting roster, and then they can then be that athlete's advocate. Or you can also just tell that coach, hey, we're joining FieldLevel. It's a great free platform for the coach to help the athlete out. Go ahead and sign up and help not only your son or daughter, but also the other athletes on your team. Good question, Spencer, about activity ranking. I'll be honest with you, I don't really value the activity ranking for myself, and I wouldn't put a lot. It's more to make sure that you're constantly updating your profile, getting your film up. It's a metric that I don't really talk a whole bunch about. I can get you more information on it in detail if you really want privately, but I don't think that's something that is going to be overall beneficial for you in the long haul. Making sure your profile is up to date, making sure you're always having film up, making sure you're working with your coach and getting promoted, using our premium plan to make sure that your coach has all the functionality opened to your son or daughter as well, is going to be the most impactful things to use. I wouldn't worry about the activity ranking too much. Sharice, good question. Is there any way to determine exactly what position the college coaches are actually recruiting for? On your side, no. On your coach's side, yes. So we do have a recruiting needs portion in our platform, something that we opened up last year, and it is crushing it. We have coaches daily from every sport that we serve, pumping out different recruiting needs for different recruiting classes. They're able to tell coaches at the club and high school level what they're looking for, why they're looking for, and exactly what kind of athlete they're looking for to be part of their program. So college coaches, the club and high school coaches can see those needs and then promote the athlete to them if they have what meets those needs. Other questions? All right. Well, I'm not getting anything at the moment, and I'm starting to see some people falling off. So I'll use that as my my cue to end things. I appreciate everybody for joining today. I'm very glad you all joined. I really appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions personally for me, go ahead and contact me individually, and we'll get those questions answered for you. Again, wait for that email tomorrow, and we'll get you guys hooked up with a little bit of a discount. And looking forward to it. Have a great rest of your day. Great day tomorrow on Friday, and a great weekend. Thanks, guys.